couldn't hear what I'm saying. I'll put you over there. No edits. That's how this usually works. Let's see here, we're going for the shot. Crouching by a river. Meditating on the mysteries. Jesus Christ died at age 33. There are 33 vertebrae in your spine, 33-degree Mason. Type in 33 on the search engine in regards to COVID-19, and what do you get? And 33 falls in line with how Tesla was 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 signs of the zodiac. What is it? What is it that brings us together? Love. And it's a crucial component of that is that there has to be self-love and then selfless love. Perhaps a marriage of the two. Am I even in the shot? Doesn't matter. I might not even upload this. Jesus Christ's teachings, it was the inner and outer. Your inner place is heaven, then that which is inner is out. If I'm even heard on this side. Yeah, I'll just bring it in over here. I don't even know if I'm being heard. It's strange filming yourself talking. This is just reflection. And as far as goes therapy, that is there as well. But to do this alone in the wilderness by like a man-made dam and vocalize this internal process, the abiding cyclic being. Self-love. I practice selfless love. The self-love is rather new to me. So that is a crucial component. Would probably give me a satisfaction of wholeness. That has to also be the satisfaction of being alone and being alone with oneself. Learning to love that. There's no more of this Solomon to get the girl magic. And I was going to talk a myriad of things, but I came in this, like, you know, I didn't have the mysteries revealed to me other than through scripture, and then in where they were told as a door is a door, a wine is wine, etc., etc. I am reading Corinne Helline, and her Wikipedia page says she was pretty much raised into the mysteries. There's schools of mysteries. I've never attended any of them. I've always been, maybe this is just for layman's. I mean, I have knowledge, an extensive amount of it, but not enough, as I think none of us do. Not enough to have like a temple. The temple is inside. You know, God forbid people follow you if you don't have all your ducks in a row. Duck, 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 goose. Ah. So I was raised middle class. My mom and dad were met as police officers. And then my mom went to the medical field. Had me, took maternity leave. There's a lot of story there. A lot. With both my parents. So magic and mysticism were very far away. It perhaps got to me through Norse mythology. The interest of the stories of the Poetic Edda. That was one of them. You know, the Bible and having questions and not getting any viable answers other than, and I went to a Methodist church, which is basically on the fall. This church is a church on the hill, long withstanding patrons. By the shore of a river. This is all God's creation. So I went into Christianity and I was baptized when I was born and confirmed when I was a teen, listening to Nirvana. But the mysteries started to excite me, perhaps maybe in teen years, where like there is that the Leviathism and Crowleyism. And Crowleyism would be something of Thelmalite through, and Golden Dawn, you know, the Kabbalists through, you know, college, or like those type of years. And even after, where it was like serious study. Very serious. All the everything you need, the altar, dagger, wand, untouched, the robe, candles, some sort of sacrifice. All of this, you know, was taken into effect. Well, I knew a Haitian voodoo lady, and she didn't like me for a while until we found mutual terms, mutual agreement. But they go that, so the the occultism, the hidden knowledge in these texts is very much a curiosity that has always stayed and given great joy to learn or uncover new points of information. I don't know, I don't see it how Crowley is some sort of prophet for what is now. Entering the age of Aquarius, it seemed like, and now the practitioners of do what thou wilt, are very much and even then it appears that that path follows along with the with sort of like, what is it, the temple of Saturn and everything that Saturn has represented: order, economy, numbers, everything, mathematics, everything that falls in line with this. Whereas that would be left brain, whereas the right brain would be of the abstract or the creation. Things that are more, and I'm obviously more right brains, but left brain to a sense where I have a fascination with numbers, and I am easily able to remember numbers now. Whereas because now I know the meaning of them. And numerology, this is something, and I think that in large and by during the lockdown, we had people have explored some of these mysteries and put it together under an umbrella. It's confusing that one person has all the answers. That's what I find to be that, like a guru, for instance. I can understand going to, like clicking on Teal Swan to talk about sort of things because she had experienced a trauma, deep childhood trauma. And in a lot of the ways we're all recovering from this trauma of COVID-19. And a revival of Jesus Christ is evident and clear. Jesus being, as Corinne puts it, the supreme way shower. And in this, you cannot argue Jesus Christ and his life decisions. We could talk about the narrative and objective worlds and the Holy Spirit manifested in flesh, and that being throughout the Old Testament, the way was paved for Jesus. And you had all these characters of redemption. Talk about the Songs of Solomon as an initiation. That's what I'm reading here in this book. And the temple, the holiest of holies. There's a regimen in this process somewhere, where to get outside of, here you go, boss, same stuff, different day, same stuff, or whatever like mottos people say. And then you would throw them a bar, you'd throw them a verse, or you'd say something in relevance to spirituality, like some kind of code that gets it. But then this path is a long and winding one. It's a very interesting path. It's flame scorching when you get on it. The soul is activated, and you're searching for all these answers. And it's all, there's everything everything is connected. You learn the ancient mysteries, You learn the body is the body of the temple, the secretions that come out your brain, and through ejaculation, and the magic that can happen with this. A good teacher is I don't know, Santos. He's on YouTube, Mr. Astrology. He talks about the English language, you know, which I personally studied and have a grasp of, but not mastery perhaps, but don't toot your own horn. And that's a fault of mine, is that I don't do that. But hey, I just did it. Oh man. Well, you look into these things for yourself, and only you know. Well, your body tells you what you need to do. Like you can't recommend. I mean, you could recommend something to somebody, but it isn't until you and your body do it. Right? A sound alignment with your mind and the essence. Like just to sit or just to stand in the sun. To stand in the sun is just absolutely amazing. To do it. Walking on jagged rocks in the river. Meditating in a field with your shirt off. Whoa. Wearing all white. Walking through a river. Talking to a mechanism. Meditation is practice of daily. All sorts of meditations you can do. You can just lay down and meditate. You can do pranayama. That seems to be one that helps me. Pranayama. It's the breathing, stomach, exhaling through the spine, all of like that negative energy. It also helps calm anxiety. Yep. And also standing still, that helps calm anxiety. Stopping a thought with Om blockers. Develop your own Om blockers. Om blockers are used in stores to rid of outside radio frequency interference. That's why they're Om blockers. Yeah, let's walk over here. Is a very S-eyed into as a lone wolf. Never had much of like any help. I mean, people along the way, but no one ever to talk about the mysteries with in depth. I'm saying. So it'd be, and even then, like just talking it out loud. I could talk about some things, but where would I even begin to start? Something will come. And then boom. You give creation. Know this, like, obsession with mammon is not healthy. It just isn't. If you're not in the place where you can take care of yourself spiritually and you're making mammon, you're going to fall. You're going to fall under a bar. And that bar is metaphorical. It could be a myriad of things. The base, you got to have a base. In witchcraft and magic, you practitioner of magic, you have to understand these things. It is that simple. I don't know how atheists do it. I really don't. I've heard some speak, but they're just mysticism always is ahead of science. Always. The base, the altar, the ceremonial things, the House of the Holies. What was there? There's the rod of Aaron and the wand of Moses. And then some fruit, like a pomegranate, behind a curtain. The building was symmetrically built to satisfy a certain kind of equation. And then, as my mama told me, when Jesus died, the curtain was torn so that anyone can now enter. Jesus absolved every one of their sins, having died and washed all the sinners with his blood. And what a world it is to be that dualistic, player in a game where you're balancing good and evil and the extremity of both. For instance, Seville would be by day a charitable Mayan, DJ, whatever, knighted by the queen, and then by night he would be molesting children in institutions that he created. This is the dualistic yin and yang. Whoa. As a man, that sounds like the wicked outdoes the good. And Crawley, upon his deathbed, had professed that hadn't him been wicked, he was damned. But this, it isn't solved in one lifetime unless you have the absolute close relationship with yourself outside and God. And then, as it is said, there's these Christmas colored lights which just light you up to remember things that you had forgotten. And that's the only game in town. Spirituality. It's the only game. Everything else is all but a lie. Think Bob's Pizzeria is going to last? Ideas, they come and go. Some have stayed for a long time. Some are remarkable. We're looking at philosophy, passionately throwing a book across the room, disagreeing with a set of ideas, a belief system. So then it was that you go from the dark to the light. Jesus Christ is as light as it gets. with the MSM Christians or Catholics. King James wrote the book, or he didn't write the book, but in terms of how it was presented to satisfy different sects of Christians, it was very bureaucratic, diplomatic. And then wherein are the, therein are the mysteries. Did Jesus Christ go to England when he was young? How did he get there? Is it true the first Christian church was started in England? Did Jesus Christ go to India? All these things, they could be hypotheticals. I guess to satisfy certain schools. Within the scriptures is very much the code. I get my hands on the cipher. Translation from Hebrew, straight from Hebrew. That was the language after all. It came and went almost so quickly, right? There's that element that I repeat ad nauseum, is that a grasp for the void. And you hear something, or you read something, and your intuition, or you remember, and it just, you put down the book and then you just reflect with this particular thing that was revealed to you. And then within it revealed all these all these other layers. Peeling back. I'm amount of parasites that live on us and in us. It's like there's just so many. It's too many. The act of decalcifying your pineal gland, it's real. It's happening every day. It's muddled, it's turning brain into mush. Orwellian quote, free speech is telling someone what they don't want to hear. And then you make your own discretion. But I don't, this sleepwalker, unable to do that with against time. It's a good idea to do the best you can with to do the best you can in regards to taking care of yourself. Just don't shop at the MSM stores. You gotta, you do what you want. You want to eat like Chuck E. Cheese and go for the spiritual path. That's probably going to be a hard thing to do. There's so many levels to it. Like make an Oreo cake, eating an Oreo cake, or having cakes for birthdays, and then getting drunk at the bar mitzvah, and then waking up at a rodeo with face paint on. I still is very much still into multiple, well, obviously I said prana, multiple systems. That was one thing that was enlightening about Crowleyism, was that, you can practice multiple systems. I mean, just to do the Catholic thing sounds very strange to me. You gotta sit there and it's gotta be on the floor, you gotta go knees on the floor, in these pews, uncomfortable. That's a sort of discipline or a strictness that in a way probably helps. But the body has to be relaxed too. Hey, bending on your knees like that on the hardwood floor, you might want to go in a lotus position after that. Various techniques. Try them all. Till the ones that work for you. That is what it's come to. If you must think of gruesome things, the Harakuti, thinking of your death in the morning before you go out into the world. Think of a gruesome death that befalls you. Don't let the movies do it for you. Or you let them do it for you. But that's like Chuck E. Cheese. That's like on that thing. Obviously there's the economical thing behind it. Economical. The Necronomicon. To advance in this life and be spiritually advanced or ascending while making some bucks. That's why I definitely see why gurus impart wisdom or knowledge through exclusive teachings. Because I really don't feel like it. And I don't have anything prepared here. Nothing is ever prepared when I talk into this camera. There's like some thoughts, but that were prior to. And then it comes out the way it does. I see comments. Is he serious? Is this a joke? Is this avant-garde? It post? I can't take this guy serious. Well, it's as serious as your life or your soul. So there's that. And it's the eye of the beholder. If you see me not being serious here, well then what does it say about yourself? Because there ain't no editing on this. I'm just sitting here out in the wilderness by a man-made dam talking into a mechanism. Formulating words and then right into there. Techniques or tips. Because people ask me stuff. They ask me things. I'm not your age, I never was. Get going. This is the thing about white pants. Make sure you bleach them. I mean, this is free form. There's no edits. That's what I like about doing this. Doesn't appear to be a very now thing, because I don't see how something like this could be digested in these times. Even then it would be best to just somewhere along the duration of the video just to do it yourself. Go out into the world, learn a thing or two. It's not, when you know some of this stuff, this knowledge, it's just like nobody can tell you jack. They can't tell you nothing, and it's easier to maneuver. There's little tricks you can do. So, Dion Fortune, looking them right between the eyes when they try to tell you to do something, and then it makes them go all cross-eyed and kablooey. That's one of the favorite techniques there. you know, that'll have, and even then, I mean, it depends on who you're doing that to. Some people know how to deflect it. Learn how to make all the right decisions based on intuition. You know, she who have eyes to see, let them see. She who have ears to listen, let them listen. Yeah, I think that about does it. Yeah. Well, that was Holy Ghost ride in the living water, based on the Most High. Sitting with Jesus by a little waterfall somewhere in New Jersey. I just made that up. I didn't give it too much of a spark or anything. Oh, that's another thing. The flames of love and the cold of the loneliness, and where you could be so far away to receive a singe that you go ice cold. And again, I was just listening to Santos talk about Saturn. They have an amazing thing in Mexico. Pelmor? It's a coastal town. Sounds like heaven. When that happens, when you feel the iciness of the loneliness, just say out loud to yourself in the most empathetic voice that I love you. And feel it reverberate. Because it is true, this vibration is very real. The love vibration. And those hateful people can feel that. That'll shake them up. Borax, a little pinch of it, and 8 ounces of fluid water helps. Get rid of those nanomachines.